Hello there, Facebook, as well as YouTube. I really hope that this is working, first of all. So let me check if it's working. It's the first time I'm using this platform. I wanted to come on live to discuss the workshop that's coming up next week. Let me just add the title. Okay, so the workshop is about how to position your offer, how to qualify, and how to close. So, a very simple process. However, obviously, as you develop the skill, it becomes more and more easy to actually execute it as well. I'm not really seeing the live though. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yay, amazing. It's working. Love it. Okay, so let's get into it. If you haven't seen the 20K breakdown, I will also share a bit about that in this video and also give you a bit of a taste of what is actually the activities that we are going to be doing together in the workshop next week, Wednesday. So if you haven't registered yet, leave a comment below or send me a DM and I'll make sure that you get the link. If you did receive a DM invite, just reply yes and I'll make sure that you receive the link as well. So last month was a 20K month using this exact identity selling growth system and refining it continuously. So obviously when it comes to signing clients, you at this point already know that it's about having conversations with people and having conversations with the right person. Okay, so I think that's really the essence of what I'm going to share today. So let me just start by sharing my screen here with you. Mm-mm-mm. Yes. Okay. Oh, forget about that. Can you see my screen? What do you see? I don't know. I don't know what you see. Okay, you guys, bear with me because I really need to figure out how. Sorry. I really need to figure out how this app works. Okay, perfect. So now I'm sharing this video. If you haven't received the 20K breakdown, just comment breakdown and I'll make sure you get it. But you can also just look at it here. Instead of like, when I remember there was a time when I was signing clients, but every month felt like, where are they going to come from? It was really like guesswork. And the difference with the previous month is that because I've been doing this for some time, I was able to start to actually stack up where leads come from. So if you are at that point in your business where you've been in business for at least a year selling your services online and you have leads in different places, you have conversations that you've had in the past with people but they didn't convert, you have clients that you're serving, you're posting content, and you also have a DM outreach working for you, then this system, like, it's exactly that, right? So even if you don't have that, the essence of what I want you to understand is that having different sources of where clients come from is going to be a game changer for your business rather than relying on only one way of getting clients. So it's really about, you developing yourself as the business owner, developing your business further and having different sources of where clients come from. So here what you can see is this is the source of clients. So we have a past lead reactivation, we have a former client that we committed, we have content that is getting us clients, and we have DM outreach that is working for us. So what I want to get into now is going to be this system. And now I have to stop sharing and go to a different screen. Thank you so much for your patience. I am figuring it out as I go. All right. So I want to talk about what it is we're going to discuss in the workshop, because a client acquisition system, being rooted in identity selling, it's such a game changer when you think about the fact that high ticket buyers, what is it that they actually buy, right? So a lot of the times we think, oh, they're buying our program, but what they buy is who they become, right? So at the beginning, at each step of the journey, you have to keep that in mind And also you have to remove the emotions from the client acquisition steps, because what I see with a lot of female consultants, coaches, or agency owners is that we tend to take things so personally when it comes to sales. However, if you think about the identity that the person wants, and also realizing that, hey, we're actually just looking at like, it's not really a funnel. It's kind of like it starts being a funnel and then it goes broader again. If you look at it from that perspective, it's also looking at how healthy is your ecosystem right now. So let's talk about the first thing that we will address in the workshop. And it's really about one of the first things you need in order to consistently enroll clients is you need to be capturing demand with your content and pre-selling. So what does that mean? Capturing demand means that, okay, let's say in your industry, you're a health coach and people are looking to lose weight, right? So we're not trying to convince people to lose weight. We are actually looking for the ones that are already in that journey of weight loss. Going back to identity selling here, people that already are in momentum are the ones that will invest. If you are going to go on a call with someone that has never invested before, they have the desire to lose weight, but they don't have any, let's call it, skin in the game, there is a lower chance that you're actually going to be able to convert them. Simply because when it comes down to it, desire does not mean financial commitment. So with capturing demand, what we are looking for is we are searching for buying signals from people. And that is something you get to do with two types of strategies, which is your messaging strategy, which is actually built on your positioning strategy. So positioning means being known for one thing only. It's very likely that you are in an industry that people call saturated, right? Like we talk about that all the time. Your industry is saturated, etc. We know that industries cannot be saturated. What is saturated is the way that people market themselves, because people just copy each other, right? So everyone talking about magnetic messaging means that, hey, everyone that talks about their messaging being magnetic, at some point people start looking at it and they start to think, yeah, everybody talks about the same thing, right? Because everyone just copies each other. Being known for one thing means going deep within your internal infrastructure of your business. So understanding how do you deliver that service, but also when you look in the marketplace and you look at how people are positioning themselves today, that you're able to clearly see where the opportunities are for you to go deeper into. And trust me, I am the person that can teach you about this, because when I started my business a year ago, my positioning wasn't so tight yet. However, I found one thing after being in the industry that people really struggled with, which was booking calls. So then I positioned myself as the no pitch DM methodology. So being known for one thing allows you to create that perception that you are the expert in that one area. So in today's industry, being an expert means being able to get people results, and it means to be able to translate what you want people to know you for from the marketing perspective of things. Because in their mind, they're thinking, okay, so I need a coach to help me with weight loss. I have done the surgeries, I have done the diets, I have done all of these things. What I'm really looking for right now is someone that is able to help me develop my spiritual connection deeper. So then that's what they're looking for potentially, right? So when you start to capture this from conversations, from insights, you're able to also deepen your marketing and your positioning based on what it is that your ideal client is currently looking for and what is missing in today's marketplace. So being known for one thing is one of the things we are going to work on in the workshop. Let me. Is this working? Yeah, it's working. Okay. So this is one of the things we're going to be discussing. And if you are coming to the workshop, then I need you to already start to think about what is that one thing that your current clients or your current leads, hot leads actually know you for, and find appealing in the work that you do, because it's something that you cannot ignore in today's industry. Even for me, I'm constantly thinking and rethinking, how am I going to adjust my own positioning in the marketplace, and how am I going to make sure that even in my service delivery, that I'm making sure that it's better than any program out there. So yeah, definitely some work to be done there. So let's go to the other area. So once you're capturing demand, this is where a lot of people struggle, which is booking calls with qualified leads. What does it mean to book call with a qualified lead? So it means, one, you need to be organized, because at the stage that you're at, you probably have a lot of people you could be having conversations with right now. It doesn't mean you should have conversations with all of them. There's different strategies for this, but it's all about knowing where should your energy go. Secondly, it's actually doing the DM conversation. So this is a sales activity that, it's not about outreach or cold outreach. It's about having conversations with people, regardless of where it is they are coming from. Okay. And then there is the third part, which is actually tracking your DM conversations, because you want to make sure that each day they are advancing forward, right? Going back to the DM conversation, this is where the skill development is so crucial and so important, because one, you need to be able to, as you could see in one of my one of the sources of where one of the clients came from, it was DM outreach, because this strategy, it works for my business. It's been working for some time. So it's just about doing it consistently, right? So outreach. Then you have the follow up, because not every month you want to be in a position where you're like, oh, who am I going to sign this month? Where are my leads going to come from, right? So no, we have to follow up with people. Following up means that you are building that relationship over time. And a lot of people don't understand this part, that high ticket sales is also relationship building, because think about it. Someone investing like 5,000, 10,000 in you, they're not just going to be like, whoop, this is my hard earned money because you posted some content, right? Or, oh, actually, we had a conversation, but the timing wasn't so right back then. And a lot of times people just like, either they're not tracking their leads, they're not organizing, they forget. I've been in that position where that has happened to me as well. Or they're not going back and in the conversation and reigniting things and following up to actually show that you care, right? So it's all about building a relationship and following up with people. And sometimes people are not ready to invest, and that's completely fine. But your responsibility as the business owner is that you're always going to be following up, and you can never take it personal when someone says no, right? Because it's not personal unless you were really rude. Then it's totally personal. So that's that part where following up is important. We're not going to be talking about follow up. What we will be addressing, though, is identity driven qualification in the DM. So I'm talking about this part specifically. And why is that so important? So obviously, organizing means, okay, I have a view of who are the people that opted in for my lead magnet, who are the people that engaging with me, who are the people that maybe I have to follow up with because I send them something, they didn't reply. Qualification, however, is testing for readiness to buy right now. So, what I mean with that is someone who is ready to buy right now, the questions they have in their mind are different than someone who is just exploring for solutions. And the questions they have in their mind are different than someone who is just realizing that, hey, sorry, I got distracted with something. Actually, I just became aware that I actually have this problem. So when we qualify, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to say now why that's so important. You want to be on calls with people who the only question they have is this the right solution for me, or how can we make this work logistically? You do not want to be on calls with people that you have to convince why it is that they need to lose weight by shifting their habits, right? Because that person, you have to convince them of that. Then you have to show them your program. Then you have to also show them the payment options. Then you also have to tackle the money objection. Then they need to think about it. It's just a disaster. So you have to be able to qualify, so you are certain that the person sitting in front of you, that there is a high probability that they're going to buy. Of course, there's close rates that play a role as well in this, but if you're not qualifying, then you also have to deal with the part of your closing skills. It's just a disaster. So we need to be strict with qualification, and also be held accountable to ourselves for how we are qualifying and how we are not qualifying. Because sometimes I see people that they just want to book a call. Desperation doesn't close deals. Okay, desperation never closes deals. So you want to make sure that you are letting the right people on the call. Going back to the 20K breakdown where I talked about your energy and time, this is the part, right? Because if you're thinking, oh, I want to make 10K next month, so let me book calls with 20 people because I know that some of them are going to convert, your energy is just going to be depleted, okay? So that was the part of booking calls with qualified leads. And what we're going to do in the workshop is to develop your own criteria for how you're going to qualify your leads based on what is the identity they need to embody so that they make an empowered investment decision with you when they are on that call. All right, so let's go to the third point. Ooh. Yes. Okay, so now we spoke about booking calls. So we capture demand, we book calls, and then we have the conversion part, right? So conversion means actually receiving the financial value and getting, and they say yes, and they make a commitment financially to invest in your program, as well as to basically change their lives, because that's the point of programs, right? It's not really about the program. It's about them stepping into that new identity and them stepping into taking the action that's going to get them the result, and you being their guide. So how do we do that? When it comes to having sales, obviously the skill you have to master here, it's a complex skill. Like selling is a complex skill. It includes being able to start the conversation. It includes being able to ask really deep questions so you can get to know people better. It includes holding people accountable to their vision when they object. And it asks emotional regulation from your end. And it also asks leadership, right? So it is a complex skill. So how is it that we do it, even when it's people we're following up with, people that are strangers, or people that have been in our world for some time as clients? So I always keep the conversation at the vision level of what it is they want to create in their lives, right? So high ticket, it's about solving high level problems, complex problems. But the reason why someone wants to solve that problem is because they have a vision of their life or who they want to become. So you have to be able to capture that, because otherwise you're just having a surface level conversation. Then we are talking about discovery. So discovery is important because you need to know, why are they even on that call with you right now? Like, why are they considering this? Why do they want to take action now? So you need to master the skill of discovery. And with discovery, I'm not talking about only asking someone, hey, what is your goal? What are your challenges? That's, again, a surface level conversation. And we need to go deeper here to understand what is really moving them. Because think about it this way, right? When someone purchases a high ticket program, it's going to ask a financial investment as well as a time investment, and they need to take that action. So a lot of times they need to become someone else in that process. They become someone else. So it is a big decision for some people. But if you're having surface level conversation, it's really difficult to hold their hand or sit next to them at the end of that conversation when they're saying it's too expensive or they don't have the time. The other thing is to realize that in today's industry, I was on a call with someone the other day, and she was like, yeah, I've been, she's not the first person that says this. I've been on calls before where I make a decision and I say yes, and then I don't get the result. Everyone, that's the level of where the industry is at right now. Buyers are sophisticated because they have invested before and they know the typical call flow, how the call goes. It honestly turns people off at this point. So you want your approach to be different and you want to give people something they can implement right away, or give them so much clarity on how they will get results from you that it de-risks the perception basically of the investment, right? So tangible results are super important in your sales presentation. And then what we will address in the workshop is objection handling, again using their vision and their identity, or the identity that they want to step into. And we will talk about one very specific way that you can help someone shift their limiting beliefs when they are on a call with you, because at the end of the day, it's never really about the money. A lot of times it's just about the fear of losing the money, or the fear of not getting the result, the fear of not following through, right? So we're going to address that as well on the workshop. So what I need from you to think about, given that you've registered, or if you're thinking about registering, you should register now. I'm gonna add the link in the comments in a bit. 1 second. Is what are the objections that typically that you get on calls? To be honest with you, when it comes to objections as well, not all objections you're going to be able to overcome with objection handling. Some of these things are going back to the first piece that I showed you. It's maybe you're not positioned correctly in the marketplace. And because of that, people don't really see what's different about what it is that you do. So then they have doubts and they have high uncertainty. So it's a system that works together, as you can see, right? Everything is just working together. Let me add the sign up link. Perfect. So let's go to the last part of the system. And this one is something that honestly, it's such a flex if you can have this, because it means that you not only are good at marketing and sales, but you're actually getting people results, which is the most important thing in your business. You need to be getting people results because it's basically means that you are building a relationship with someone that's going to last a really, really long time. Okay, so let's talk about client results and how it loops back into sales. I'm not going to go in depth in terms of client results. I'm just talking about this because this was part of why I was able to close 20K last month. So client results support, accountability, skill development, and course material, right? So all around, support when there's mindset blocks, support when there's questions, accountability of for example, how do you measure the input that your clients have to make sure they're doing so they get the result, right? So being able to measure that and following up with people on it. Skill development, giving, for me, it's about teaching my clients how to sell. So I'm really focused on the trainings that I give, which are 3 per week. How do I make sure that in each training, everyone is learning? And I can really see it in each one of my clients every week, because their performance, when we do a lot of role plays, their performance improves on the role plays. And then you can also see it when they actually close deals, right? For me as well. So then we have the course material, which is okay when I'm not there. They have all the answers, all the material guiding them so that they know how to take the next steps. Okay, I think I need to drink some water. I'm talking too much. Okay, that was needed. Okay, so when we have client results, how does it loop back into consistently enrolling clients? It means that when you have someone, it depends what you're offering, right? So let's say you're offering a core program that has a transformation, a promise of what is the transformation you get them. At some point you can see that they're getting close to that, they have achieved that, right? And if you don't have anything in place to take them to the next level, essentially what you're doing is you're basically saying that you're just cutting the relationship off, and you're allowing them to sign up with someone else because people will keep investing, right? So if you're already holding their hand and you already got them to, let's say, from level 1 to level 2, you can for sure get them to the next level. And also it forces you as the consultant, the service provider, to keep developing your own skills, right? So then we're talking about, hey, client results lead to follow up in the DMs and the calls being booked. So what are you seeing here? What you're seeing is that this is the part, being able to book calls with qualified leads. This is the part that really enables the conversations, right? And that's what I was discussing in my previous workshop as well, conversations to clients. It honestly doesn't matter where or how you're booking calls. If you're sending 100 emails a day, right, and you're booking calls from that, if you're posting content and people are coming to you and you're qualifying people and you're booking calls, if you're serving clients and you're taking them to the next level and you're booking calls with them, if you're following up with leads that a year ago said no, but now they're more developed and they're more ready and you're booking calls with that. So it's all about having an ecosystem where you're consistently booking calls and you're qualifying people based on their identity, and you are converting and you are delivering a service. Basically, being a good business owner, being someone that delivers results to people. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about in the workshop. And to repeat again, what we're actually going to work on is what is the one thing you can get known for. Positioning, as I mentioned, how can you qualify people when you're having conversations with them? So having your own qualification criteria. And then we're going to practice some objection handling. So thank you for watching this. If you have any questions about the workshop, let me know. But go ahead and sign up because the link is in the comments on Facebook. I did not put it on YouTube. Okay, I need to figure out how to do that. This is so funny. I'm using like this new app that allows me to stream on different platforms. So I just need to fix that now. Let's see. Okay, yeah, adding it in the chat. Oh, perfect. All right, I will see you